Hi everyone, it's Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos using products that are new to me, or just need a little bit more love in my collection. Today I'm going to be using products that need more love in my collection, and I am using them instead of shopping at the Sephora sale. So if you want to see the products from my collection that need more love, keep watching. Okay, so this is my little antidote to every single Sephora sale shopping video that has shown up in my feed lately. And if you want to shop the sale, that's cool. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I am not telling you what is a good deal and what is not. I just need to not see another shop with me at Sephora video in my feed. I understand they do very well, and I know that's why people do them. I'm just don't want to see it anymore. Today, as per usual, skincare, sunscreen. On my brows, I have the ABH Dip Brow Gel in Taupe. I also have the About Face Fix Eyeshadow Primer on my lids. And not everything that I use on my face I get from Sephora. I just think that we have so many options now. If you're Rouge, you get the 20%. If you're VIB, you get the 15%, which is what I've always been VIB. The thing about that 15% is that if you look at any other online retailer at this time of the year, and even sometimes a little earlier, Nordstrom, Macy's, Saks, they're all offering 15% off. I understand why I see these videos, because they make money. It's like a shopping with me video. I just watched a whole video on how shop with me videos can make someone like $1,500. That's what I heard from this other creator. But I just need not to see those in my feed right now. So and just I want to remind people that there are things in your collection. You don't necessarily need something new. You probably already have it. So I just laid down the Mercier Caviar Eye Stick in Vanilla Kiss on my lids over my primer base. So today I'm going to be going into my Sigma Alice in Wonderland palette. I just love this psychedelic. And no, I still have not bought the Beauty and the Beast. So I just wanted to bring this one out. Last week I used the Cinderella palette, and this week I want to use this one. This one is obviously much more colorful, and I'm gonna go for the blue side as per usual. It is finally sweater weather here, and it is cozy, comfy, and chilly and rainy. So, you know, all the things that come with cooler weather. But it is finally here. It is finally fall, and seems like it comes and goes in the blink of an eye. And it is such a beautiful season. It is also a very itchy season if you have allergies, because all of the mold in the air, but something we just live through before everything dies and gets covered up by snow. If you live in the Midwest, which is where I live, everything will soon be covered in snow. But I just love these transitional times where everything just is transforming before your eyes, and the colors are really vibrant, and you just take every day as it comes and enjoy. So I hope you are taking some time for yourself to do that. I know not everybody can, and I actually am off of work right now, taking some time off. And I know that's not a luxury that everybody has, but that is what I am trying to do right now, is just, even though it's a little bit cold and gray, is just go out and enjoy my time. Enjoy being out and about and discovering new places to go, or well-loved places that I've been to a million times before, instead of shopping online. And I will say, when I make a video like this, I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. I'm not spending money, and I recently spent quite a bit of money. As I keep saying, I just recently went to New York. I know that's annoying, I'll stop it, but you know, I have reasons for not wanting to shop Sephora sales and reasons for not wanting to shop holiday collections. And it's just because it's not going to fill a need for me right now. And I recently got back into fashion because I did lose quite a bit of weight over the last 2 years. It was intentional, but it made me want to have clothes that fit and that, you know, look a little bit nicer on me. Not that I didn't look nice when I had more weight on me, just that I would like things to fit a little better. My priorities have just been different from luxury and Sephora beauty. So I'm just not feeling all of the things coming up in my feed right now. And part of why I do these videos is because I want to have, like, I want to stay in conversation with the types of videos that I see in my feed, and it helps me feel a little bit more connected to what I'm seeing instead of just being sort of a passive viewer. Because I think people watch YouTube for a variety of reasons, but one of the reasons that I watch it so much is that feeling of connection that you have to another human being. It's a very complicated parasocial relationship, and I get that. I don't know any of these people that I watch, but especially during the pandemic, watching Michelle Wong's vlogs, watching travel vlogs, watching shopping vlogs, like, those gave me a lot of sense of connection to the wider world. And as someone who's just not a social person in the first place, I find that to be something that is helpful to me. Now, if you're a social butterfly and you sort of thrive in social situations, I get why you would think that shopping vlogs or travel vlogs or whatever are just kind of like, why are you watching this? This is boring. But I find a sense of community in them, even if I'm not commenting, even if I'm not, leaving feedback on the video. There's just a sense of, hey, there's someone else out there who's feeling the same thing I am, or who is able to do something that I can't. Like, I watch a lot of shopping vlogs from London, and the reason is because I love that city. I loved being there when I was there. They go shop at places like Harrods and Selfridges, but there's just kind of a sense of like, hey, I've been there. I know what that looks like, even if it's been, a really long time. I have a sense of place when I watch shopping vlogs from London. And I also, watch travel vlogs, shopping vlogs from places I haven't been. Recently, this has been more popular, sort of these vlogs where people take these cruises down the Danube, Vienna, Budapest, Prague. I don't think that's on the Danube, but sort of like these European destinations that they aren't Paris, they're not London, they're not Spain, or Spain is not a capital, but I found those to be really interesting because those are places that I would not have thought would be accessible to someone like me. Seeing the different cultures, the different ways that people live their lives, and it also is just like the similarities too, the way that the things that we all share in common, and whether that's shopping, eating, going about your daily life, music, entertainment, which I think is something I've always really craved when I feel sort of stuck in the place where I am, just craving that wider horizon. And so I think because I crave that wider horizon, I gravitate towards travel vlogs, which also, blends into shopping vlogs, which blends into luxury shopping, because people are going to Hermes and Chanel and Louis Vuitton all over the world. They're very international brands. They've got flagships in almost every country. And I find that fascinating in a way because the thing with like luxury brands is, you know, it's not like Target or I don't know, any other big box store where you're gonna walk in and the stock is the same from store to store, and that's sort of the point, right? And because you know it, it's familiar. It's like walking into a Starbucks and you know the same thing's gonna be on the menu. I mean, at least throughout the United States. I'm sure it's different in Europe. It's been a while since I've been there, so I can't really remember, but you know, you walk into a, or at least from the vlogs I've seen, you walk into a Louis Vuitton and you see different stock, or you walk into a Fendi and you see different styles of baguettes. You see the different items that each store is either delivered or orders or whatever, however it works. And just seeing what other trends are popular in, say, the UK or in France or Italy or more towards Eastern Europe, I think is really interesting. And someone was saying that it was kind of like a home shopping network experience, and I don't really agree with that. Got my hair in there. I don't really agree with that. I think there is an element of that, but I'm not really watching luxury shopping vlogs, picking things out and going, oh, yeah, I want that bag. Because, you know, most of the time that bag is going to be 10K plus, and I'm never gonna, you know, be able to justify owning that, even if I could afford it, which I cannot. So for me, it's more about just being able to broaden my horizons. And the other thing is like, I know for some people, I think it is easier to travel and other countries are more accessible, but I don't find that to be the case for me. It's an expensive trip to go to New York. It's an expensive trip to go to Europe. It's a lot of planning to go to Europe. You know, the closest I have probably is the UK to me, and that's from Chicago, which is the closest like international destination. That's an 8-hour flight, 8-hour plus flight, and it is not cheap. It means if I want to get there affordably, I'll have to fly coach, which is also not the most comfortable thing in the world when you are stuffed in with, you know, 2 other people in an aisle and there's 10 screaming babies, and, you know, because everybody else wants to go on vacation too. They have that right. And, you know, I'm just saying it's not the easiest thing to do, nor is it the most affordable or accessible thing to do. I can't just pop over to Paris or Italy or, you know, like those places are not super accessible to me. I think if maybe you live in London, I don't know how accessible it is to just jump on the Eurostar and go to Paris, but it seems like it's less of a hassle than it would be for me. There are travel vlogs that do this too, but shopping vlogs are just like, they give you that sort of on the street feel of things that I would be doing or that I would sort of fantasize about doing. And is there a huge fantasy element to it? Of course there is. I'm not particularly interested in going to Louis Vuitton or Hermes. Hermes. I feel like luggage brands like that, and I know Hermes isn't necessarily a luggage brand, but Louis Vuitton definitely is. Like, I find them a bit dull. And I know I'm in the minority of that. People love Louis and they love their Birkins and their Kellys. I think they're beautifully made, but I think you actually have to own one and touch one rather than just look at a bunch of them on a shelf in a video to understand the quality. And there's no way I would ever pay $40,000 for a bag. And again, I don't think I'm better than anyone else for not paying $40,000 for a bag. There's definitely lots of luxury crap that I wish I could afford. I wish I could afford a $10,000 Chanel coat. or cardigan or whatever, because they keep raising their prices. I've never been a classic flat person, which I think they're beautiful. I envy people who are able to collect them in all different colors. But I've kind of never understood why anyone would pay $10,000 for a black classic flap when it seems just like, oh, it's a classic piece, it'll last you forever. Sure, cool. There's also a million other bag makers that you can get that style from. I understand having the Chanel one is different. I now have a Chanel mini bag, and I get it. They're beautiful. There are plenty of other super luxurious bags that I would love to have. And maybe someday I will be able to get them. But I just find things like Birkins and Kellys, Neverfulls, and Speedies and all those kind of things, they don't really appeal to me, and that's fine. It doesn't have to appeal to me. But anyway, I suppose my sort of my disjointed thoughts are sort of just all connected to this idea of shopping and watching shopping vlogs and why we love to shop and why we buy so much, and just sort of being a little bit exhausted with, even though, yes, I do watch a lot of shopping vlogs and travel vlogs and luxury vlogs. Yes, I watch those things, and do they influence me? Sure. And that's kind of why I want my videos right now to be a little bit of a respite and a little bit of a discussion about why we think we need so much and why we shop. And is it because, I think for me, and maybe it's just not that deep, maybe I just like to shop, but I also think that, I would like to think that it sort of makes me feel connected to other people. Again, that weird parasocial relationship that social media and YouTube can sort of breed. And, you know, even if you're not reaching out and commenting on someone's videos, you can just watch, like, I could watch certain creators just back to back to back to back, even if it's just kind of in the background. Even though I think that Hermes and Louis Vuitton are boring, I'm sure that there are people that find Chanel super boring, whereas I could watch Chanel vlogs, again, back to back to back to back. Like, I find the variety infinite and interesting. I can go back like 3-4 years and look at collections that are no longer available and still find those collections sort of fascinating to sort of browse through. But it's not really like online shopping for me, just sort of admiring. And again, sometimes it's just not that deep. Maybe it's just like, ooh, that's shiny and pretty, I love it. It's like, ooh, shiny. But I also like to kind of look at things from a sort of historical perspective. I think it's kind of problematic to say you love history, because there's a lot of crappy things that happen in history, and it's not a safe space for a lot of people, because people have not been treated well, and we tend to, I think, at least with Western history, romanticize a lot of eras that were very bad for a lot of people. I think what history, the study of it, does is just sort of help you contextualize things and moments and understand why they're happening, or at least understand that they have happened before and nothing is really new. Of course, there are some things that are new, like, you know, technology is new, there's always innovations, cultural moments, and what we tend to think of as viral trends. Those are very cyclical, circular, and in that way there is not a lot that is sort of new. And I don't think that is depressing. I think that is just kind of like comforting in a way, because people are ultimately just people at the end of the day, and we all react in a certain way to things. But at the end of the day, I think we are just all humans trying to cope with our situations in life and with just life in general, and how to live it and how to be a good person and how to be content and happy, whatever that means to you. we try to find joy in small things. I don't mean to be derogatory when I say small things, but for me that is YouTube, because in lieu of traveling the world and or having the means to do that, I can, you know, turn on my TV and watch vlogs from Amalfi or Hawaii or Korea or Japan, Morocco. I find them to be endlessly fascinating and comforting, both for the way people live differently and for the way that they live the same. I am watching travel vlogs and sort of planning my next trip, at least in my head. Knowing the options that I might have when I get there is very helpful to me, and it sort of keeps me looking at the bigger picture. So like, I don't need to spend $1,000 at the Sephora sale because I can put that money towards a trip. I don't need to spend $88 on a Chanel eyeshadow because I can put that money towards a bag. Granted, bags are a lot more expensive, but this is just my thinking. Like, I can put the money that I would otherwise spend on makeup that I don't really need, but for some reason feel FOMO about, I can put that money towards a really nice, well-made cardigan or wonderful, well-made pair of shoes. You have to think very long-term, and sort of travel vlogs and shopping vlogs can fill a more immediate need. And so I understand that that's part of why I watch them, and I think that that's kind of why they're so popular. They fill an immediate, visceral need, you know, that endorphin rush that you get. So instead of, you know, adding to cart and checking out, you can sort of watch someone else try something on or see what it looks like in store. You can get a hit that way, and at the end of the day, you're not out any money. You're out a little time because you spent time watching it, and obviously people are having ads on their videos, and sometimes they're sponsored or whatever. So, you know, it's not completely benign for you or for a content creator or a sponsor or a company. So I'm not saying they're totally benign, that they're completely harmless, but I'm just saying for me, they mostly can fill a need without making me add to cart and hit checkout. So, and again, I'm not saying that I'm not shopping at all. I just bought some clothes last night, but it is a more thoughtful purchase, and it's things that I've thought about how I can style them different ways and use them different ways, and how they can go with pieces that are already in my wardrobe. And I would urge you, if you're thinking about shopping the Sephora sale, to think about the things that are already in your collection and how you can style them. Style makeup looks with, you know, clothes that you have or trends that are big right now. I don't know what's big on TikTok right now. I don't know. Latte look is over. I don't know. What's the next big thing? I don't know. But you don't need a new product to create that trend for yourself and to make that trend work for yourself. So just think about that. If you are tempted to shop the Sephora sale and you don't really want to, you just feel FOMO. I've been using products in this video that I otherwise might have gone and bought, like the Hourglass powder, the Guerlain bronzer. All of those things are on sale right now. And even this, like, this is one of my favorite products ever. This is the Sephora Lipstories lipstick. Everything Sephora collection is 30% off right now for everyone, and that is super tempting, but I instead am using a lipstick that I already have and love from the collection. This is Labyrinth City. I have had it for years. I wore this when I was in Europe. I was my favorite lip color when I was walking around Paris, and I don't need a new one. And I do have colors like this in other lip stores. Like, I have a ton of them. I have a whole video swatching them that is actually pretty popular on YouTube. I don't know why. but I have a whole video swatching all of the Lipstories in my collection, and I don't need another new set of them, even though there is a new set out for the holidays, which is very tempting, but I probably have all those colors and don't need them. I hope they're not discontinuing the Lipstories line, because I think that it is a very affordable and good alternative. It's a really good formula, but I don't need a new color of something that I already have. I don't need another shade of eyeshadow or lipstick or blush. I don't need it, and I don't actually want it. I have my skincare covered, I have my bronzer, blush, and eyeshadow covered for years, for decades. I just wanted to be something in your feed that is sort of, let's not shop the Sephora sale. And if you want to shop it, go ahead. It's your money, do what you want. I'm not going to make you feel bad about it, but if you don't want to, use your makeup that you have and feel okay using your makeup that you have, because you're really not missing out on anything. And you can make beautiful looks with the makeup that you have. Granted, I do have a lot, so I do have quite a few options, but again, if you are like me and you already have those options, maybe just think about looking at your collection. So this is the finished look using products that I already have in my collection that I did not buy from the Sephora sale. And again, if you want to shop, go ahead and shop. It's your money, it's your choice. Use your power wisely, and just kind of think about it. Just whether you buy it or not, just have a thoughtful moment about it. That's kind of all I ask. You don't owe me anything, but that's what I'm asking anyway. And again, I'm not shopping. I'm just focusing on how purchases in other areas can complement purchases that I've already made. It shouldn't all be about shopping. You know, you can have a moment where you just step back and say, hey, I've got enough right now. I don't need anything new. And I'm kind of getting to that point with a lot of things. I do still feel that rush you get when you know, shop online and you like buy a new shirt or buy a new lipstick or whatever. Like, I totally get that. I'm not immune to it at all, or saying that I'm better than anyone. I think I just want to come to a place where I don't feel like I need to get the newest eyeshadow palette, or I need to get the newest bag, or whatever it is. Even if I'm not there right now, I recognize that I'm working towards, you know, a place where I don't have to buy something to feel fulfilled. And that's hard, I think, in this modern society where you're constantly being sold things all the time. Look, I'm a child of the 80s. My childhood was sold to me, and it's being sold back to me now. And I am at a place where I'm okay with that. Like, I get that, I understand that. But also I want to get to a place where I don't feel like I need to spend money to feel included or like I belong. Those are my disjointed thoughts on Sephora sales and shopping in general, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing me use the products that I already have in my collection. And let me know what you are shopping or not shopping for, what you're using instead of shopping, what you're currently loving right now. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any of those would be welcome, and all of them would be deeply appreciated. And I will see you in the next one, guys.